What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys had a blessed Christmas and New Year's. I have some finds to share with you guys from the month of December. December was absolutely insane and got some pretty awesome stuff and stuff that didn't really cost me any money. So let's jump right into it. So I was heading to my daughter's dance recital and I get a phone call from a buddy that says, Nate, you need to come down to the Morehead City Mall, which is this old kind of dead mall in the Fargo-Moorhead area. And he said there was a toy show, but there were some people selling some video games. Well, I had to sit through a dance recital first before I could head over there and see what this guy had. He said he would give me some decent deals because no one was there and they just weren't really selling anything. So kind of went through the pile of NES games and Super Nintendo games, and just there wasn't a ton of things that I didn't already have, but there were a few items that I was able to snag. The first one is for the Super Nintendo. This is Super Castlevania 4. This is a game that I absolutely love playing. It looks so good. It sounds awesome. It's just a great Super Nintendo game. So I was very excited to add that to my collection. I've kind of been starting all over for the Super Nintendo. The move really, there were some things that got lost and just real bummer. So I've kind of been starting all over again for the Super Nintendo. Not that I had a ton of games. I think I had around 50 and I've only been able to track down just a handful of them. So kind of just building that back up. But I also found some NES games that I didn't have. One of them is Trolls. This is American Video Entertainment game, one that I haven't ever seen. The condition is okay, but this is, again, one that I just don't ever come across. So I was really excited to snag that, and the price was right. I think I paid maybe $5 or $10 for it. I also picked up a very clean copy of Twin Eagle. Not a fancy game, but very, very minty. It looks like no one ever played it. I don't know if that really tells me if it's a good game or not. I don't quite remember if I've played this one or not. But anyways, very clean, very minty copy. And then one that I've never seen before, and it is MiG-29 Soviet Fighter. There's a ton of flight simulator games on the NES. This one's put out by Camerica, yeah, nice and shiny. One of the really cool things about this game, or at least this copy, is that it still has the Blockbuster sticker on, which is just, it's pretty awesome to have, very nostalgic. A lot of people have been saying that my game room kind of reminds them of a Blockbuster, just the way the games are displayed, front facing. And so this just kind of brings me back a little bit. So those were a few items that I snagged, that I purchased myself. A lot of the rest of the items I got for one low price of free, which is pretty awesome. So first, my wife snagged a couple of things for me for Christmas. And this is a Tanuki Mario figurine, ones that I've never seen before, but they're starting to pop up around Target. I've even seen a Bowser's Castle, which looks ridiculous, and so I might snag that as well. And then obviously the propeller Mario, you kind of have to go with those. It looks like there is five different characters, so anytime that there is a numbers or numbered characters, kind of have to get them all. So I'll have to go back to Target and see if I can't snag them, or maybe they'll hit the clearance in the not so distant future. So these next items are pretty crazy because I got them for free, and these are things that just don't typically show up at my doorstep. So there were a few people just parting with things. I guess the month of December was a time to get rid of old and get new. And so I got a call saying, asking if someone could drop something by my office, and I, of course, said yes, because it was a Super Nintendo. This is a console that is very clean, looks minty. It's not yellowed or anything like that, and so for free you kind of have to take it, which is pretty awesome. It also came with a handful of games. This came from a nursing home that they just didn't want it anymore, which is pretty cool. So snagged Tetris 2, again trying to build that Super Nintendo collection up. And then I also got Super Bowling, which is a pretty fun game, not a standout game, but something a little different on the Super Nintendo. And then the final one I got was Pac-Man 2. It's a Pac-Man game. So yeah, very happy to kind of build that Super Nintendo collection. Again, for free, you gotta say yes. And then I also had a volunteer that comes into my office, and she said that she was cleaning out her closet and her son's stuff, and he didn't want it anymore. And she's like, I don't know if you want it. It's called a Sega. And I was like, yeah, anything Sega. I'm more than happy to take off your hands. And so she showed up to my office and dropped off a Sega Dreamcast. This is stinking awesome. This is something you just don't see, especially for free. It works great. It's very clean, and it came with a few games. I don't know much about the Dreamcast. I actually put some things out on Twitter just asking, hey, what games should I be looking for? What games should I be playing? It's really, really uncommon to find Dreamcast stuff up in this area. Dreamcast, Saturn, those are just two consoles. You're just really not going to expand your collection unless you go to different conventions, things like that. So some of the games that it came with is Test Drive V Rally. Let me know in the comments below if these are good games or not, because I have no idea. This is Sega Sports World Series Baseball 2K2. And I think the Dreamcast was pretty popular for the 2K Sports franchise or 2K Sports games. And then this one doesn't have the manual or anything like that, but it is Metropolis Street Racer, MSR. Don't know anything about it. It looks like a long time ago they bought it for used for $19. And then this one I do know a little bit about, and it's Crazy Taxi 2. This is something that looks just awesome. All the discs are in very good condition, all the manuals, everything. So very excited to add all of this stuff to my collection. This is stuff that I just never really pictured or never really had a desire to have in my collection. It wasn't something that I was going to go out and purchase, and just because I don't have a lot of nostalgia to it, and I haven't really played one. I don't think I played one as a kid. I played one a couple of times as a kid, actually, or as an adult recently, and so very, very happy to add those to the collection. But the free stuff does not stop. I had a buddy that was so gracious to dump a whole bunch of Wii stuff on me. Stuff that I just don't really have a big Wii collection. And there are certain games that I've just kind of been looking for, a lot of the Marios and stuff like that. And he said, hey, my family's moving to an Xbox One. We just don't have a desire for this. Our Nintendo Wii actually broke, and so we're just not really interested in continuing it. So we thought that you might enjoy this. So Luke, thank you so much for this stuff. There is a ton of games, and I'll kind of go through them fairly quick, but this is Need for Speed Pro Street. This is one that didn't come with a case. This one is The Conduit. Don't know anything about this one. Obviously Wii Sports, this is the pack-in game, and actually really fun. I really enjoy Wii Sports Resorts. Those are just fun games. The bowling, I can't say it enough that the Nintendo Wii was such an influential console, or maybe that's not the word that I'm looking for, but it is definitely a console that it was just in every household, every nursing home. It really just broadened the age of gaming and stuff like that. So the Nintendo Wii, a lot of people don't really care for the motion controls. I don't care for the motion controls, but there are still some really good games. Star Wars 3, this is the Lego one. Haven't played this, but a lot of the Lego games are really good. Rubik's World. Nitro Bike. This is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. This is a game I'm familiar with, and it's pretty awesome. This is Mario Strikers Charged. So this is just a real quality game for the Nintendo Wii. This is a Mario Power Tennis. So they're just really expanding on that Wii Sports with Mario. This is Mario Kart Wii. You can't go wrong with this game. It's really fun. The peripherals are really fun as well. This one, you guys know, that I love this stuff. This is Just Dance Kids 2, 40 plus fun songs. I don't remember what this is. I actually was walking through Target today and saw the Just Dance 2020 for the Nintendo Wii selling for $40, which is just crazy that this franchise has kept this console alive. Some of the songs, let's see. Hot pop songs, older kids. Love Me, Whip My Hair, Just the Way You Are. I don't know any of these. Rocketeer. Oh, but then there's songs from TV shows and movies. The Wiggles and Yo Gabba Gabba. I'm a dad, so I know what those things are. This is Infinity. I never got into this stuff, all the characters or anything like that. There were a handful of characters that came with it, along with a ton of remotes and accessories. We Play. I don't think this was a packing game, but pretty familiar with this one as well. The House of the Dead 2 and 3. This is one I haven't played. I hear there's some really good rail shooters on the Nintendo Wii, and I just really haven't played them. Deca Sports, this is probably a double that I have, but this is in way better condition. It has all the manuals. All of these have been taken care of, which is pretty awesome, especially in a house full of kids. Call of Duty World at War. This is a Call of Duty I've never played. I played, maybe it was Modern Warfare before, and it was very difficult with the Wii motion controls, but it's a cool one to add to the collection. This is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is the one that I think that I've played before or a long time ago when I first got the Nintendo Wii. And then obviously Wii Fit. This is just a classic. I want to know if anybody has ever successfully lost weight using Wii Fit. If you have, let me know down in the comments below. And then we also have Wheel of Fortune. Is it Pat Sajak? I think it's Pat Sajak. And then Speed Racer. I can't even hold it here. Speed Racer, the video game. This is one that I don't have and not really familiar with, but very happy to add it to my collection. But as I was going through the bag of these games that they dropped off, I noticed there were some cases that looked slightly different than the other ones, and they threw in some of the GameCube games. So the bag had just a ton of accessories, but they had the name brand Nintendo GameCube controllers, which was kind of interesting. But there's some really great GameCube games that they added to this pile. Mario Superstar Baseball. This is one that I didn't have, one that I'm pretty excited to have. My son loves this stuff. He loves any sports game with Mario, Sonic. Metroid Prime, which is a pretty great game. This one is very enjoyable. I like it a lot. And then I would say this is kind of the big jewel of all of the games, and that is Mario Kart Double Dash, which is kind of a spendy game nowadays, and just very good condition, manuals, all of that stuff, which is so awesome. So Luke, thank you so much for hooking me up and just throwing some games into my collection. So again, found some pretty awesome stuff this month. It was a good Christmas month, all of that stuff. There are going to be more pickups coming very soon. The next video that you are going to watch is a game room tour, which I'm so excited to show you this space. It's not 100%, but I think, hey, it's good enough, so let's go for it. So that's really all I had. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Make sure that you share it with your friends. That would help me out a ton, and I hope you guys have a great day. See ya.